Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Readalese video blog. I'm Airy Sky. So, I want to tell you what's going on in the world. That's right, in the world. So, a couple things I have to discuss with you this morning is pandemic, stimulus checks, and riots. All right, now Sister Pee Wee this morning delivered me. If anyone needs to know, Pee Wee's a girl. Some of you think that Pee Wee's a man, and I personally wanted to say that she sent me a lot of content this morning. So I went through my news feed this morning, and I decided to get on this morning to share with you all the news, what's going on, So last night I was in bed. I was talking to two of our lovely moderators, and I fell asleep. I was tired. That and the alcohol. I just overdrank too much cognac, and still got a whole bottle, by the way. It's a good day this morning. I got up and I decided to have a little heart to heart with Chloe. I said, Chloe, I said, I do all the ordering, I do all the food ordering, I do all the stuff for you. I maintain emails for you. I got tons of stuff coming in and coming out and coming in. And I said to her, I'm really tired of it, and I also told her how I feel about her yelling and screaming and yelling and screaming. And, I also thanked her for, the meal last night, which was Chinese, which we finished up today. So she turned around, and I gotta exercise a little bit. You can see my little paunch here. I don't want to be fat, so I'm trying to burn it off. That's why I'm trying to stay away from calories. The only calories I'm trying to put on is others. So I will be running today on the treadmill because of the weather. Alexa, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow?
Tomorrow in Friday Harbor, you'll see showers and can expect a high of 62 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 45 degrees.
So basically, what the plan is the plan is other issues, So basically, during sunny days in the evenings, I thought about taking a walk, run 2 miles on the thing. The problem with going to the harbor like you did last night is Chloe takes this way where she avoids the grocery store because, as you know, the grocery store kicked her out. Because of it, there is too many long stairs going down. So, but this morning I got 6 spreadsheets to do while Chloe's cleaning. So let's get the spreadsheets done so I can focus on other issues. So, couple things coming down the pipe. We got a letter from Social Security this morning coming in for Chloe. I love mail notification. I really do. It tells us what's coming in the mail. So this morning I got 2 packages. I believe 2 coming today. It might have been 1. People sit there and always joke about my channel, But anyways, I got 2 packages coming, I believe. One being a setup to manage other things. So last night, Chloe and I rented a movie. After I got up, we went to the harbor, and because we're spending a lot of time watching movies. I mean, literally. So currently, we got 3 packages on its way to the USPS from Amazon. 1 in transit and 1 out to delivery, and the out to delivery will be in the next 3 hours. So I'll, and then we got 2 letters today. So. And that is Social Security. I believe. So we will be handling the Social Security thing completely. So we will take care of it, like we usually do. So, anyways, this morning, I decided, like I said, to I decided this morning to do the spreadsheets that were needed, and then go from there. So there's 6 spreadsheets, and we'll do what we can this morning. And I decided while I'm doing these spreadsheets to discuss with you quick and thorough discussion about other issues like the pandemic. Now, we have several problems right now playing out in the pandemic. And this morning here on the he likes to chew on the large one from time to time. You just can't help it, he's too cute, right? So, yeah, I need to lose a few pounds. I'm feeling kind of sluggish this morning. I literally was out of breath walking up a store, up the hill, upstairs this morning. So, literally, I need to get on the treadmill more and burn off the body weight and try to limit my snack intake. Chloe wanted a lot of snacks. So Chloe, so we have to limit our snacks. Literally, I got to cut my snacks out. So basically, I got to cut down the snacks. Literally. Eventually, I think this will subside to where we are in a better chance. Not right now. On other issues, but let's get to the pandemic. Okay. So one of the things I read this morning, watched this morning was let's just get this out of the way. First of all, is stimulus checks. Stimulus checks. Apparently, the elderly basically turned around, and what happened with their stimulus checks is they have been cutting up the stimulus check cards, and I thought it was kind of um, interesting, because they're talking about stimulus checks, right? And all of a sudden, lo and behold, it's talking about how stimulus checks are um, being cut up, and the elderly don't want another debit card, so they're putting them in paper shredders. So if an elderly person's watching this, don't shred your money up, okay? Please just don't shred your money up. So a couple things that I wanted to also talk about besides that is they're talking about how come other people haven't got their payments yet. And frankly, it was a good, interesting listen to this morning. I actually was listening to um, Reuters and more about it, and I can clearly tell you that it was a really good, uh, interesting, interesting read. And so there we go. Have to fix a couple of things real quick. Move that. So a couple other. Sorry about that. It's just sometimes I have a cable that's hard to maneuver. So Chloe sometimes moves my computer and et cetera, et cetera. So I apologize. So let me see if I'm off camera. Okay, so anyways, so one of the things I wanted to share with you was the fact that we as in people, basically, is the pandemic's doing pretty bad number of people. So this morning, the news was really interesting because it's talking about actual stimulus checks and the economy and, how the government's turning around and doing what they're doing, And to me, I thought it was a really good, interesting way. So to me, I thought that was pretty cool, because so to me, I was like really cool, that it actually happened, So one of the other things I wanted to share was the fact the fact you know the uh one of the things that me and Pee Wee were talking about literally was the riots. Literally the riots were something uh that needed to be addressed too, because as I said, that the riots are getting to be pretty bad, and I wanted to share that with you all as well, because people are burning down things. And if you keep causing these problems, we are going to have the army coming out, and the army is coming out. I mean, look, a lot of people are saying Donald Trump caused this. Fortunately, if you want to blame the commander in chief for it, feel free to. The problem is I'm still trying to, um, let's just say, digest, the information and news before I go and point fingers and say, oh, yes, he said this. Because I'm not going to basically turn around and say, yes, the man said this or the man said that. I'm not going to basically say something if I don't have concrete evidence. Chloe will say, oh, well, he's doing it. What he said was first the looting, then the shooting. Well, let's just say I was reading an article, okay? Several articles where one of the things that's really scary right now, all right, is, you know, is um is the looting, and then the shooting. Now, last night, I know my family, I was actually sitting there this morning, actually drinking my morning coffee, okay? And as you know, I always talk about how much I love my family, and, if you guys got comments and I haven't seen the comments yet, I apologize. I'm just trying to, focus on two things at once, my thoughts and getting this done for you all. So thank you for, being patient with me. So, another thing I want to talk about was my family. I love them dearly. And I know this time is trying for all of us. I know it's probably putting my cousin and cousin in law's nerves shot. I mean, literally. They're from the Portland region. Now, I just read it. I was sitting there this morning, and usually usually I do not make any jokes. I'm one of these girls that doesn't make any jokes. I'm very serious. And sometimes Chloe can be a pain in the butt. And I said to Chloe, I said, "Oh my God," and Chloe's like, "Oh, it's not really nothing," and I said, I said, "There's looting." Oh yeah, what's new? And out of love, I said, "What's new is it's Portland. People broke into downtown Portland, at the courthouse, the square of the courthouse. I don't remember the name of it, And what did they do? They were talking about looting shoes, Now, the first thing I joked about is I know my cousin loves shoes, I've never seen her really wear heels much, but that doesn't mean as beautiful as she is, she doesn't wear heels. She's very gorgeous, my cousin's lucky. But this isn't literally, if you guys want to sit here and see me talk, this isn't about her, okay? So I made a joke, oh my God, I wonder if my cousin went out looting shoes, She must have went shoe looting because it was Portland. But Seattle's having a lot of looters too. So, that's why I said, President basically said, first the looting, then the shooting, and, now the Army's called out. I mean, literally what we're dealing with, in my opinion, is a complete reversal of, of it. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my entire time of, I mean, I've seen the things about the rioters and the building fires and stuff, but I mean, literally, it just scares me. All right, now the joke was maybe my cousin went looting shoes, but I know she doesn't break the law. Okay, so it was just a little joke. But if you're watching this, no harm done. I know you and you like your shoes. Now maybe a tranny went and broke the shoe store up. I mean, we can joke about it till the cows come home. And so technically that's something, but this is going to get bad. I mean, literally. Now, I know Gail was talking about this the other day, and I want to bring this up, okay? Literally, I want to bring it up, okay? Now, Gail was bringing up something the other day. Now, there's a lot of people out there would say, well, if I'm following or listening to someone who's got a lot of things, I've had people ask me, people that, follow my channel, why are we keeping some people as moderators, whatever. And the thing is, unless the moderators break a severe rule of mine, I won't remove them. But that saying, we're in a pandemic. We need all the moderators we can get to keep the trolls out. So, one spreadsheet done, 5 to go. So, good morning. So basically what's going on is this looting is causing problems, everyone, and I'm basically talking about, the problems, So I'll get to the comments if there is any. Like I said, right now I'm not focusing on it. That's why I'm not actually looking at the screen, But if anyone is there, like I said in my first part of my video, I apologize for things. Last night I got a little tipsy and fell asleep. Frankly, Chloe and I were kind of, Chloe was getting combative with me last night also, and frankly, we had a little heart to heart. One of the things that I said was the pandemic just causing a lot of trouble between me and Chloe, and one was that Chloe was stuck to her phone. I mean, literally, if you look at the dishes, it takes her every 5 days. I told her to just get them done. Literally. So last night we took a walk, and I said, look, you're glued to your phone. You don't see me glued to my phone. I use my phone to usually look for packages. That's the only damn reason I have one. Frankly, I don't want to even use it for calling people. But last night, was a different story, And so I also want to apologize to anyone who thought I got upset. I did, because frankly, I'm one of these people that I try to do fact checking. And fact checking is something I'm really big on. And because of it, I fact checked everything. Like the whole thing, Direct Express isn't paying anyone early. Because if Direct Express was paying early, then Direct Express would be paying early, which would mean that they would be paying currently. Things would be pending as of right now. So technically, that's one thing that was kind of literally upsetting me. So, on that aspect, because everyone gets paid on a certain time frame. I've heard people call up and pick up the phone or do this or do that, and to me, I just like fact checking. So, I don't want anyone basically coming on and, saying something or other, or Literally. I mean, some people get second stimuluses, other people don't get second stimuluses. So to me, I want to say I don't give two shits if someone gets second stimulus. I mean, look, Chloe and I are supposed to be getting extra money in the mail Monday. I think it's Monday. Alexa, what day is Monday?
June 1st falls on a Monday 2 days from today.
What is it now? What?
I thought you were asking me a question.
No, I was asking our device a question. Isn't that great? I can talk to the device. I don't have to talk to you.
Okay.
You did? You took offense to that?
No, I didn't.
The device at least doesn't talk back or get combative. Joking aside, everyone, you know that I had to throw that in there, because of her her rape. So basically, like I said, the economy's hurting. People want to get back to work. Other people don't want to go back to work, and other people are unemployed. Fortunately, the economy is really taking a tank. And I was reading a report where it was talking about finances. And now, one guy who runs a grocery store in New York was stating that things are coming back to normal, so quit hoarding. And I was thinking about that going, yeah, good. Now, as everyone knows, the news in Seattle is King County, that's the main county and hub. They're not actually going to be allowing phase 2 to open up. So the governor's not going to go and do phase 2 at all due to the fact that phase 2 is, phase 2 is, not open yet, and so with me, I thought it would be beneficial, this morning to catch up on my news, and, last night I got angry with Chloe, because, and I want to share this with you. Let me see if there's any comments, though, because frankly, I'm trying to juggle spreadsheets, comments, if there is any. I haven't checked yet. And juggling orders and everything else. I mean, literally, I'm just physically drained. But I will tell you, a couple more movies came into our mailbox last night. The 53 classic, The Robe. This one's really good. A religious movie called Samson. So Chloe's really happy. Last night we watched this movie. I rented $2.99. Amazon doesn't sell it. I had to find the U.S. copy for like $3 at Target. Then they wanted me to pay $25 or more dollars. So Chloe said, just order some socks. So we got like 2 packages of socks coming. Chloe's always like, oh, well, I know you and your socks, and that's one thing I truly do enjoy is fresh socks, and she's like, all we need now is underwear because, she needs more underwear. So next week we're going to be putting an order in for underwear. So, I finally decided, last night I got mad at her for the phones. I said, look, where you're basically on the phone. Before the phone, you were basically glued to your computer and nothing got done. I said, we can have rats living here. I said to her the other day, right? Let's just go to the comments first. Well, and whoever's here, welcome to the Rita show, as Brad would say, Minnesota would say, and whoever. So let's see what we got here this morning. We have Minnesota, good morning. Oh, good morning. Dakota, hey, sunshine. Well, it's not really sunshine. It's pretty crappy today. Because she loves Christmas. Why is your tree at Christmas? Okay, fair enough. Hey, fell asleep on it. That was a good one, Rita. Well, what was a good one? I mean, literally, I just got here. So, okay, so the spreadsheets I'm working on, okay? So basically, probably the joke I said about the device doesn't talk back. Yeah, well, I actually enjoyed a good conversation with her this morning over coffee. It actually reads me my news, so I actually got to listen to the news, watch videos, and not worry about anything. So, anyway, so let's get down to brass tacks. The economy is hurting severely to the point of no return, and because of it, I, on the other hand, I really do love the device, the joke, yeah, well, so last night I basically said, that the pandemic, the finances, and everything is straining. Hold on a second, let me go and see if I can learn this. That's not the device I wanted. Okay, so I wanted the smart home hub. And let's see, I'm loading my smart home. Okay, front door cam. Let's see if we got any, you know, I just love that. Loads up, you can see what's going on the smart door cam. I got a package out for delivery today, which I'm looking forward to setting up once Chloe clears the table somewhere. I might have to squeeze it somewhere because I want it near me at all times, which is a a oh, is there a plug over there? Nope. I guess I can plug it right there. Anyway, somehow I'll just move it right here and set it up. I'll have Chloe basically realize I got my laptop here, and I'll have a side by side. I'll have the Eco on one side, and I'll have the Google Home Hub on the other side, so I can manage everything that way. Well, yeah, I fell asleep. It's because I had too much to drink, plus the fact that I was tired. Look, people want to give me shit about falling asleep. I fell asleep on a YouTube video once because of it. I mean, look, I'm bipolar, okay? Do you know how hard it is to do these videos and then fucking pass out? I mean, literally, when I'm fucking exhausted, I'm exhausted. I mean, usually my sleeping schedule is 2 or 3 hours, and I have to buck through the day with about 500 pots of coffee. So technically, when I fall asleep, I'm usually basically falling asleep. That's why when I basically yawn or I yawn or whatever you want to call it, I literally. Now, people sit there and say, yeah, but you fell asleep on the video. Well, that's because I was tired. Is there a crime for me falling asleep while being tired? I mean, literally. I mean, if you look at it from that point of view, you got to ask yourself the questions. I mean, literally, you want to sit there and people sit there and say, oh, yes, but, you shouldn't have fallen asleep. And to me, it's like, look, I fell asleep. Big deal. I fell asleep because I was tired. I fell asleep because I don't sleep much. I mean, look, people think of me as the legendary robot. Literally. And I, for one, dude, I hate this sometimes. And I'm not talking about that. Trying to get something moving along, and it's like, I wonder. I'm just curious. Ugh. Do they have all these, or is it just certain ones? Certain ones. Back to the drawing board. Take me forever to get through this one. Actually, I saw what it was. So, but yeah, this spreadsheet won't take too long to focus on. I'm just like the, I'm literally like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. There we go. sometimes I can just be completely thoroughly out of gas. People say, "Oh, well, you should be good," and it's like, yeah, So you know how it is. But no, I apologize. We literally, between alcohol and me not sleeping, I use the alcohol sometimes to cope with Chloe and her combativeness, but I also use the alcohol to help me sleep too. So that's something I do from time to time. So if anyone wants to say I'm bad, Rita, the only one who can use that card is Annie. But Annie says it sweetly, by the way. Bad Rita. When you're married to a cute little Filipino that doesn't want to talk to you anymore, and she says that, you're in the wrong. Literally. Literally, you're in the wrong, basically. It's like having a mother for a wife who's stern, bad Rita. I mean, literally, I've had a few little things. So, anyways, finally, I'm getting this started. So, anyways, I apologize. Yeah, well, my point is, I appreciate it. I'm just literally out of it. But today's news is very interesting. That's why I'm tackling it today. So the elderly are basically getting their stimulus checks on paper, except for I don't know how Minnesota got his check. He's really cool, and yeah, I don't know how. What did I miss one? Yeah, I missed one. See, I freaking oh, you know what? Open this, and then we'll just open this. So yeah, there we go. So basically, what happened was for all of you lovely people out there, um, like I said, she is, a lot of the elderly, are tearing down their checks, and cutting them up, not knowing. And so the government is like, please don't. And then the elderly complain, where's my check? And it turns out that they're cutting their checks. So I, on the other hand, am very unhappy, about, um, you know, so, oh man. Yep. So, anyways, I wanted to thank you all, for a wonderful day, so far. So we discussed that, and then people have been asking me about the riots, and Pee Wee said this is something that needs to be addressed because it doesn't, to a point, because it doesn't just address, situation. This is bad, okay? Whereas states around the country, they're not just. Let me put it this way, all right? This is my opinion and only my opinion, okay? If you guys have a, dude, you scared me for a second. What are you doing?
Put stuff away.
Well, what are you putting in the VHS cabinet up there?
You got Aladdin out in your office, so I decided to put it with the other VHSs.
Yeah, he still looks like a wet Shih Tzu.
Well, he is a wet shit.
Hi, how you doing? Let him up. Can I have some candy? Well, if you find that bag of gummy worms today, let me know. Not that I need any, my weight's a little disturbing in my opinion. I'm feeling like I'm becoming a fat bitch, So, anyway, so one of the things I wanted to share, with you is my opinion, okay? I need to get this off before Chloe comes in and puppy baby, it distracts me, and then I can't get out what I saying, and then I have a brain fart. Then I gotta go over and scold her later with no dinner because no, I would never deprive her of food. Everyone knows that, but jokingly, of course, okay. But no, okay. So honestly, here's the problem: the elderly are turning around, and they're basically staying indoors. Okay, now there's two problems here that I want to address. Okay, one is a lot of people turn around and they're complaining about the commander in chief. You know, oh, the commander-in-chief did this, and the commander-in-chief did that, and, you know. Thing is, I don't care what the commander-in-chief has done, okay? So he basically said, first the looting, then the shooting, okay? Big deal, all right? Who cares? Chloe would sit there, oh, well, you know, look, that's fine and dandy, but my main thing is we will get to that, okay? So, my opinion is this. Basically, the economy is basically hurting, right? There's a lot of people who was just waiting, okay? There's several key factors here that I want to share with you. If Chloe wants to get involved, she can without basically talking about our commander-in-chief. One, here's my true opinion of what's going on. That can be recycled in the recycling box over there. Unless you're putting all that. Paper bags can be recycled in the recycling bin. How's the bin, by the way, overflowing?
Oh, I'm going to take it out eventually.
No, I mean the big green bin upstairs.
Let's get
How many people are ordering shit besides us?
Not many.
Oh, okay. So let me get down to the brass tacks, okay? So basically, you got people, okay? A nice African American man who is sweet and kind and generous got murdered. Basically, third-degree murder. Let's move it to first degree. No problem. I don't mind if 4 cops go to jail. Cops need to go to jail. I've seen a lot of corrupted bastards out there in the world. But Chloe knows that I do not incite riots and I do not incite panic, okay? Here's what I say, okay? I'll tell you exactly what's going on, all right? One, president's basically causing this to a point. He said first the looting, then the shooting. He was literally saying if they do happen, like if anyone remembers the Rodney King incident. Do you remember the Rodney King incident? Rodney King was a black man who got.
Turn your sock around. That bracelet's not supposed to be in the bottom of your sock.
I don't care where it is, all right? Yeah. So, Rodney King got abused, all right? Literally beat by a cop, and all of a sudden riots happened around the country. And this is worse because states around the country are marching. I mean, look, Seattle's already issued stay-at-home orders and more. Seattle King County can't open up. But let me just say, the dead, basically guy that died, okay, he didn't deserve to die. Actually, he deserved to live. Fortunately, he was the catalyst, the combustible fuel for the fire, for 2 reasons. One, this was already a volatile situation. Now, I know Pee-wee, probably if Pee-wee was listening, Pee-wee would say, oh, you know how Pee-wee is, she's awesome. But I think Pee-wee you would take into consideration because Pee-wee's always saying, you know, that someone like me, okay, knows my stuff, all right? African Americans people are people, and their lives mean as much as my life means. A Hispanic person's life means everything. Life is more important. You can replace things. You can't replace a human life. So when an officer used brutish force on someone, you know what's going to happen, right? So, let's continue. So, between the guy basically turning around, a lot of people say, oh, Rita, you're fucking smart. So, I was sitting here this morning over my tasty coffee, and I was thinking about this before getting on here, because Chloe said that the news needed to be brought up because this interclines not just the economy, but the unemployment, the economy, and more. She said it herself. This intricate and intertwines. I just wish she. You know, I'm starting to think you're like a little kid. You're like playing with those bags, and every time we play with them,
Do you want to keep this or not?
That's your thing for your new vehicle.
Okay.
Don't you get it? What it came in?
What came in?
Hold on a second. Look. Do you see what it says there? I had to put it together, so that's your new vehicle.
Oh, that.
Yeah, Pee-wee said that's your new vehicle. It came and I had to put it together.
Yes, I fly it too on a daily basis. Oh, I fly so well on that. I fly so well on it that they even asked me several times if I wanted to join the professional Quidditch team.
All right, joking aside, let's get to real seriousness. Basically, with the pandemic, okay, here's the problem on one hand. I'm going to have some dip, by the way, so you guys can see me. And, I'm still working on a spreadsheet, by the way. I'm actually juggling two things at once. But I'm taking my time today because Chloe knows I need to take my time on these. So here goes. On one hand, you got too many people indoors. And I know Dakota and Minnesota probably are sitting here going, well, maybe I'm dumb as a box of rocks. Who knows? But here's my opinion, okay, thinking about it. You got beautiful people across the country under house arrest, basically. That's what it is. I was telling Chloe last night. I feel we're under house arrest. A legal order of house arrest. Our sheriff's basically arresting people and putting them in the county jail and saying you'll serve 30 days when the courts open up due to the fact of other things, right? So 30 days. I mean, literally, you get 30 days. So here's the thing. Chloe turns around. And, was telling me, I told her this at the waterfront. We went down to the ferry docks last night just to look at the water. I've been so cooped up here. It's been driving me nuts, and not getting out, it's been driving me nuts to the point that I've lost all interest in YouTube and everything else. I mean, movies, and, I'm trying to get back in an exercise, So Chloe picked up salad, which reminds me, I'm going to want a salad soon. Tomorrow for dinner, I think I'm going to enjoy salad, all right? Now, here's the problem, okay? Chloe turned around and Chloe asked me, by the way, we get paid on Wednesday, so, hey, Alexa, is there any packages coming next week?
Here are your deliveries. 2 deliveries will arrive on Monday, June 1st. 2 deliveries will arrive on Wednesday, June 3rd.
So I guess Tuesday we go shopping, I guess. Tuesday morning, we take Alexa, what's the weather going to be like on Tuesday? Maybe we can
Here's
go.
the forecast for Tuesday, June 2nd in Friday Harbor. Look for lots of clouds, with a high of 63 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 49 degrees.
I'm game if you want to go shopping on Tuesday for groceries again for meat. Because Wednesday you're going to pay the bills. All right, so you guys have been patient with me and me talking to this, Okay, so basically we're all cooped up in here. As you can see, Chloe was saying last night, stir crazy, right? And Chloe never thought of this because Chloe's not smart enough to think of this, but people going stir crazy, right? Say a transgendered woman got murdered, right? And every transgender, let's just say several of them in every different states, right? And gay people, lesbian, trans, okay, hermaphrodites, whatever. And people sit there and say, oh, who cares, right? But the trans people care, right? What if the people are so fucking stir crazy? The catalyst was that the problem is this was the catalyst. We'll come on to TV the Rita show. So basically, what's happening is the catalyst was the fact that too many people are indoor. Stuck indoor. You know me. I'm basically losing it myself going stir crazy, Chloe. You know this. But what if one guy, one beautiful human being, a beautiful African American, doesn't matter whether you're black or white, right? Mexican or trans or gay. That sparked the entire thing to go into riot mode. Because they're thinking two things. They're A, thinking the riots, and B, they're bored as hell, so let's go burn down stuff. Now look, I'm not going to basically turn around and tell you I'm not going to be liable in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying stay indoors. Do not get involved. As the president said, first the looting, then the shooting. Literally, they're bringing in, mobilizing the Army National Guard. If this gets bad in other states, other guards will be getting involved. Problem is there's a lot of people that's unhappy. I mean, literally. And around the country, there's going to be severe riots, which riots are going to be bad. And we can't afford to have riots. I mean, literally, if you're this unhappy and you're causing this much distress for your folks and going out and getting arrested and stuff, then you need to realize that I, for one, think the American people need to realize that the American people need to realize that nowadays people need to realize to stay indoors, plain and simple. We are in a pandemic. And because of it, that's intertwining people doing other issues. I mean, look, we're having riots. We're having buildings burned down. I mean, literally, riots and buildings burned down stem to arson. Basically, what they're doing is you're so bored, you're willing to burn down buildings. And the more buildings you burn down, by the way, doesn't anyone realize the more money insurance companies got to pay out for arson, which means more prosecutions, which means more money, a tax burden money being labeled because of your boredom. So you've not only just turned around and basically caused a stink, you're basically you might lose your house and everything else because you decided to torch a business or a gas station or cause bodily harm to others. Let's see. Bun. Look, I'm not stoned. I don't do drugs, okay? And secondly, I don't take my Christmas tree down, okay? I'm not going to at all. My Christmas tree is my Christmas tree. If you want to sit there and insult me over my Christmas tree, well, that's your opinion, not mine. All right, my Christmas tree stays up year round. And she said hello, Bun. So, hi. Good morning. How you doing, Bun, huh? Oh, yes, I have my bunny. So, am I making any sense when it comes to this? The government basically said first the looting, then the shootings. Now we got looting. I mean, literally. I thought this morning, I told Chloe this morning. What if we found out my cousin, jokingly, Dinky, basically was doing the looting at the shoe stores in Oregon? The Pioneer Courthouse? There was looting right there. The Chase Bank near the Pioneer Courthouse? It was all the windows were blown out last night. Literally, I mean, they're doing some damage, I don't know if any buildings were set on fire in Portland, but Portland had a lot of arrests right now, and this is a time to feel unsafe. I mean, literally, if we have protesters, make sure if you have Google or Amazon to check your local areas and make sure where those protesting are so you can avoid them. I don't want to see any of my family and extended friends going to jail because you went down there by mistake and you're trying to walk past, go to the grocery store. Well, Chloe's luck, she might have ended up in jail anyways, so technically.
Yeah, the sheriff there wants me in jail. They're trying to find.
Look, if you want to see my boobs, that's fine and dandy. I do need to get rid of a little bit of this. That's why I'm going to be running on a treadmill later. But right now, I don't have time for a treadmill. My advocate said this is what we call a little bit of coronavirus weight. That's what she called it, Chloe. Coronavirus weight. I mean, look, we're stuck indoors. I mean, literally, everyone is losing weight. Now, there's another thought. Has anyone thought that this coronavirus weight could be caused by people wanting us to get overweight, eat more. I mean, literally. I mean, the problem is let me just go into it, okay? The whole thing is intertwined. You got people unhappy, so they're going to defend an African American guy, which is noble. Fortunately, you're torching buildings and stuff now makes you a criminal. Third is if you basically do this shit, you get caught, you might be going to prison like other people. The thing is you're going to have peaceful demonstration without the violence. Now there's causing looting. The reason for looting is this, okay? I mean, look, I do have to say it in front of Chloe. You do know the news article said in Portland and Seattle.
I'm listening.
I'm watching face to face with you. I'm talking to you for a second. That men were robbing women's shoe stores. Men.
Trannies.
Who knows? They're just men. They're running back and forth, clearing out the shoe store.
Yeah, you won't believe what I saw the other night.
What is it?
Neighbor above Stinky.
Oh yeah, I like him. Anthony, is it? Craig, right?
Yeah,
Craig.
I thought I saw him wearing a bra and stuff and thigh highs.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah. So I saw. Kind of freaked me out, but still.
His windows was open?
No, he was outside his door. What, is everyone going to be trans now?
Don't worry if the troll showed up. So, and I'm sorry you can't gain weight, Dakota. Okay, so this is intricate. You got people basically bored out of the gourd that decide to go and do something about it. Guess what? We're also rebelling. Because of rebelling, now we got shit hit the fan, right, Chloe?
Yeah, next thing you know, you see a bunch of right-wing men running out with makeup on, looking like clowns. Because they don't know how to apply makeup. They're wearing dresses like, hurry open the stores now! This is America!
Yeah, well, I mean, literally, let's put it to this way, okay? We're literally, you and I and everyone else around us, we're having a conversation, everyone, and frankly, which reminds me, where do you know where my well, I know where this is. Okay, do you know where my other thing is? Yes, is it here? Here it is. Give me a second, everyone. My screen needs to be cleaned real quick.
Look forward to Monday to talking to our advocate, right?
Yeah.
See what I can do. Well, she first suggested that we send a letter to the owner.
She already told me that too. Yes, I know the letter thing.
Owner stance is on this.
And if the owner's stance is, then she basically said, then the owner's not a friend of hers, because she's allowing, But the thing is they haven't. The thing is you know what's gonna happen, right? This goes to court, For example, not that I want it to go to court. They're gonna basically turn around, right? And they're gonna basically put me on the witness stand, which I don't have to, and ask if I've ever, been discriminated in their store when. They said, "Oh, well, you were wearing a nice dress and all this." They're gonna say, "See, are we discriminating against you?" No, we're not. We're basically telling you like it is. Well, then your lawyer's got to use a different. I was outside. I didn't see it, so technically they bring in other witnesses. The thing is, then they would basically have to bring in other people, and I'm telling you, this is basically complicated.
What about the fact that forced me to go off island buy groceries and risking getting.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, look. All right, let me just tell it like it is before you sit here and say, "Oh, what about?" Let me just tell you, I was talking to. Before you sit there and get kind of, cranky about it, okay? Let me just tell you what I was talking to. Sis, right? Sis turned around because this is let me just remind you, I do got a video I'm doing, okay? Out of kindness. So, Sis basically said that other stores were following you as well. Like marketplace, same thing. But but they never attacked me when I was wearing a short skirt or a short dress or whatever.
Why are they doing this to me then?
Because for you, I think it's because you think the norm is showing your ass cheeks off, and they took offense to your ass cheek jiggling. Wearing something really short, and they don't want you wearing a hoodie as a dress. Literally, someone,
What about when I dressed in normal ones? People did the same thing. It gave me a hard time. I think too it has to do with something you found in the police report.
It's not the police report. What it is it's other things. You keep thinking it's a police report. It's not the police report at all. What it is not the police report at all. So let me go back to my discussion, okay? Because Chloe and I knows that she gets into the discussions, so we'll never get to. So basically, you got the looters basically looting everything. And this brings up to something else. Are you saying, Dakota, that I'm dumb, or are you saying yes to me chewing tobacco? Because I just want to I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page. So basically, what I want to say to you all is, if this continues, and this is something that we all need to think about, all right? This ain't about me chewing tobacco here. This is actually something that's more important, okay? Okay? And that is, I know you're sitting there going, okay, well, what is she going to talk about? Simple. The looting continues, and the Army National Guard can't get anything under control, all right? I'm bringing this up because of what Gail would have said, which is something we need to literally talk about. And that is, I know you guys are sitting there going, what? And I want you guys to think about this before you call me out on bullshit, okay? Now, we all have a different opinion on politics. I don't talk about politics on my channel much, but when I do, it has to be for a reason, right? Well, let me put it this way. You turn around and you cause this much terrorizing of national buildings and everything else. Well, what happened here? Dakota took care of it. Let me see what's going on. Oh, great. So someone accused me of doing meth. Thank God Dakota took care of this. PP face. They'll come back with a different account. I'm sorry. If I'm going to come and get anyone, it'd probably be you, not Minnesota. Minnesota, if he's being a butthead, he could tell him to drink drink a case of beer and go pass out. Because frankly, I don't like seeing people, Now, excuse me for a minute. I need to go check something real quick. So, for any of you guys basically looking at something, nope. Sorry about that. I was checking on my door. Now, if you guys know, I got a camera aimed at the door. So, basically what's going on is martial law, okay? If this continues to escalate, martial law can be implemented due to the fact that the president can't travel abroad or into other states because of it. And we're 6 months to go. I want people to think about that for a minute before you call out me on bullshit. Think of it this way: martial law. I mean, look around, and this basically is intricated over the fact that the government knows that there's a lot of problems. I mean, look, there's a lot of people that don't want to go back to work. I mean, look, me and Pee Wee's talked about it many times over. People need to get back to work. Otherwise, and there's a lot of people out there that say, well, I'm making more money staying home, so I'm milking it till July. Now, there's a reason I would say, honestly, out of love for you all, I will tell you exactly what I'm thinking, okay? And this is only a theory, So, anyways. So, your movie's been shipped, Chloe.
Cool.
So, your movie and your socks. And then there's a new game coming out with limited run games called Blaster Master Zero. That was a fun game back then on the PC.
Cool.
Well, anyways, let's just talk for a minute, okay? Martial law. Now, one of the things I said was, that the people want to milk it. Now, when people turn around and say, oh, well, I want to milk it, I want to milk it, I want to milk it. Well, go ahead and milk it, because here's my opinion, okay, before people say I'm full of shit, is between now June 1st to, from now until July 31st, the government is not, quote unquote, and I'm not saying it's the government in general, okay, don't quote me on the government, but the Republican Party wants to see what's going to happen, okay? They're basically turning around and they're waiting to see if all the money gets trickled before they do another stimulus. So the second stimulus check will probably be between end of July. I'm figuring if they're going to give anyone a stimulus check, okay, that's going to be probably the end of July, early August. More likely mid-July, because they're going to pretty much wait this out. And the reason they're waiting it out is because they don't know what's going on. And I agree with the Republicans to the point, because we're trickling money in. Rumor has it there's about $300 or $400 billion still unaccounted for, and they gotta get it out to the people. Because of it, that's because people, but also, talking to people, listening to the news and stuff. This is why I do this, because, I don't do second stimulus checks, because everyone knows that everyone knows that until there's something concrete, I can't post anything. So my content is more for the pandemic, but we also have to talk about the other issues in the country. Which, as everyone knows, including Chloe, that, this morning she told me this needed to be addressed because of the looting. I mean, look, the looting is problematic. I mean, look, Chloe's got a fear that's really serious. I mean, we're 6 months from the 6 months to elections, and yet, if the looting continues and and shooting continues, that's going to delay a lot of stuff in the country, to the point where no one's going to basically be, we're going to see a lot of shit happen this time around, and we need to prepare for it. I mean, that's why I told you all to prepare for, um, the worst. I mean, literally, people sit there and say, what do we do? Simple. You prepare for the worst. I mean, literally. I mean, because of it. I mean, people sit there and they say, oh, well, don't hoard. Well, some places, grocery stores are fine. Where we live, grocery stores are not fine. I mean, literally, if you look at the grocery store ratio, some stores are basically running out of stuff. Or, as some states are doing, um, they're basically, um, how do I say it? They're literally, um, price gouging, and that's where you got a lot of attorney generals turning around and saying, you need to do your job and, report it. I mean, it's like, I was listening today about they've made some new a new what do you call it, policies where if you don't want to go into a grocery store, you can order stuff, and have a lot of stores are doing curbside pickup. Unfortunately, curbside pickup is going to be coming into the price of people literally buying stuff in the stores, that are actually spending their time buying stuff in the store. And so you got to look at it that too. I mean, literally. So, I mean, when you look at the big picture, everyone, you got to see that they're going to pass the savings on to the the um the the Americans. The Americans are going to be getting it passed along um to it, and a lot of people out there are not going to be happy that they're paying for someone who wants to be lazy, that doesn't want to go into the store. Well, as you all know, supply and demand is so high right now that, like, Amazon, Target, and Walmart are actually limiting on supplies, and people don't understand that as well. They're just, so, you know, and, you know, people's uh, online purchases are bad. I mean, literally, there people are just buying what they're buying. That's it. They're not buying anything more, and so people are, um, you know, it's not good. Let me pull my chair up. There we go. So basically, that's something that needed to be addressed as well. Because of the problems. The problems is there's a lot of people out there that don't understand that. That whole issue. All right. Well, I enjoy doing the dishes. Chloe needs to do those too. So basically, you got to look at martial laws an option. I put in a camera also on my front door in case someone tries to do raiding and looting of our food. So because we're stockpiled. Well, that's something that people need to realize, is we're taking no chances because we don't know what's going to happen. And people sit there and say, well, what? Why do you have a security camera? Well, Chloe had the money. She wanted a camera after we were sexually assaulted in our own home by a guy. So the best course of action, Chloe said, was to, um, you know, protect us. And so we did. And so people sit there and say, oh, well, but the thing is we're also protecting our food. Our food supply is pretty strong. I mean, literally. We're just making sure we have food. We got more food coming in. I know, people sit there and say, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done this. And thing is, we did what we had to, protect ourselves. And so it is, not cool. And people sit there and say, oh, but, we did it for, this or that. Thing is, we're in survival mode, and when, you know, the government doesn't decide to give um, food, or more food stamps, then there's going to be a lot of problems, because a lot of people are worried about this pandemic spiking, and so a lot of people sit there and say, well, what do you do? And to me, you got to prepare. Now, you guys can claim I'm insane, but I do have a camera aimed at my door to manage my packages and to keep people from trying to loot me. Present position of the riot. Well, like I said, thank you for bringing that up, BB, because frankly, present current situation of the riot is pretty bad. Literally, in my opinion, it could lead to martial law because they're calling in the Army National Guard in Minnesota. Now, the Army National Guard could be called in other states like California for riots if it gets bad. Oregon call in theirs, Seattle or Washington call in theirs. Other states could call in the full active of the National Guard. And the thing is we're here to basically have active peace. Now, the problem is, in my opinion, is there's a lot of people out there causing a lot of riots. They're causing riots. They're causing looting. Chloe, is Moppy wet? He's on my bed. He's just looking like, nope, not going to do it. Here, let me check and see if you're still wet. I can tell. Nah, he's dry. Let him lay on the bed. My service dog decided Mama's bed's more comfortable, so. But no, basically, the entire looting thing is and there's a couple problems also I want to share with you. As I was telling moderator Pee Wee this morning, the president's executive order to against social media, there's a lot of problems, okay? He wants to sit there and say people are not liable for what they say on YouTube and Facebook and everything else, social media, right? But that would mean, I was talking to a lawyer via email this morning. We're talking about looting, right? And he said that would mean that if someone, and I don't condone violence, as you know, I'm ordained, okay? But he said that if this gets bad, people could use that card that the executive order was signed that freedom of speech is protected, right? Which means you can go out and make threats against anyone on social media, which I don't recommend any threats against anyone, all right? So I'm not going to be liable, okay, on my channel. I'm taking no liability. But the damn loophole is that if you do that, that would show that you could turn around and make threats against any government official and get away with it under freedom of speech, which to me would say that people out there can basically use that card and say, well, the president signed an executive order, therefore I'm not liable for what I say because it's freedom of speech. So some guy turns around and makes threats, say, against government officials, even if, say, the government came and knocked on their door, they could sit there and say, well, it's my freedom of speech and you can't take that away from me because, it's like the lady that, made a statement about something stupid about the commander-in-chief, and I think it was um, El Paso, I think it was. They had El Paso a detective and a police, and I think it was the Secret Service there. Made threats to someone, made threats against commander-in-chief. Well, for example, that could be used as freedom of speech, and they would have to look the other fucking way because of it. And to me, I think that is downright wrong. And so I wanted to share that with you all because people say, oh, well, freedom of speech. Well, and so everyone needs to realize that they can't just go and make threats, I mean, literally, they'd be saying freedom of speech, and to me, it's not good. I mean, literally, people sit there and say, oh, well, I could say it because, it's, and to me, you need to wake up and smell what you're smoking because it is basically what you're doing is you're playing a dangerous game of cat and mouse, And even if they do it, it would have to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court would have to rule the president's thing unconstitutional, and blah, 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 or rule it in favor, which means people can sit there and make idle threats against anyone including, like I said, government officials, can get away with it on the grounds that they said it, and you know, and it's not cool, right? So you got to look at it from that point of view. But for riots, like I said, if the riots continue and more Army National Guards deployed, I think in the end we're going to be seeing, quote unquote, um, um, you know, a lot of problems. And that is where I say we're getting into dangerous waters. We're treading completely dangerous waters because of it. And, you know, and if they keep doing this looting, and the president keeps saying first the looting, then the shooting, then we're going to be dealing with a big conundrum of problems, which is then people will start to loot people's stockpile of food because they know they have it. I mean, we're in a thing where I said that this is intertwined. People are fucking bored, so they're going to go burn down buildings and gas stations. And what if the looters turn around, hypothetically, of course, again, I don't condone violence, and they decide to go burn down federal buildings because they can, you know, at nighttime when they're not working, you know, like say FBI or Secret Service or Social Security field offices. I mean, literally, they could start doing this, and you know, then the Army National Guard has to be called in due to the fact that they turned around and they did these things. You know, to me, I think we're dealing with a big problem. You know, so. And so that is why I keep talking to you all about preparing yourself, you know, for problems, you know. I mean, literally, you got to ask yourself, you know, is this what you want to do? I say no, leave it alone because it is a dangerous situation. I mean, literally, we're dealing with um, a situation that's you know, too damaging. And everyone around knows this, you know, because of it. I mean, you're dealing with a major problem, you know, and I say it's time that we look at the uh, the outcome. I mean, literally. I mean, look at it this way: we're basically in, um, you know, seeing a lot of people bored, and they'll go and do things, and they'll get in trouble, and then, you know, and to me, it's not cool. You know, we're dealing with you know, problems like no other. And I think we're dealing with, you know, and We're dealing with a giant conundrum where we're all worried about the problems, I mean, literally, we're getting to the point where, National Guard starts coming out, there's problems. I mean, look, I saw a video today where it looked like the White House lawn was breached. Secret Service agents were hurt. I mean, literally, what type of violence do you want to do? I mean, look, people are basically so stir crazy that they're going ahead and they're literally causing trouble for everyone. Thanks. Understand. What about police? The police basically should be punished. The guy that did the damage had 18 complaints against him. They looked the other way until one guy got murdered and it was all over the news. And because of one guy, they got to punish him. I mean, this guy here basically assaulted a black guy. It was nationwide. Now people were revolting. They were so bored that they found a way, the catalyst that one guy got caused. Now this guy who's is passed away because of his being abused by a cop. The cop caused a nationwide pandemic of overproportion when it comes to issues. Literally, he caused pretty much almost a civil war overnight. People are stir crazy. They're told that they've got to stay indoors because of this pandemic, right? Now, states are turning around, and they're turning around, and what are they doing? They're turning around and causing a lot of trouble. And a lot of people are having trouble. They're literally having a lot of trouble, And I find it to be disgusting. When you're watching all this happen, you got to ask yourself, what's going to happen? How's it going to happen? I mean, look. We're talking about the American people causing trouble, and everyone around is watching the American people see that they're mobilizing state police all over the country to protect. They're trying to protect the people. I mean, and that, in my opinion, is not good. You're watching literally problems. And they're trying to protect the people. People say, oh, well, the police are, they're assholes. And, the thing is some police have a boner for authority, literally. But is it wrong to basically hate all cops? I mean, literally, is it? I mean, literally, a police officer might be doing their job. That's it. That's it. In my opinion, I like to know that people out there It's, they're doing their job, but some of them do it so rough. I mean, some police officers are great. Some police officers are assholes. You just got to ask yourself, what's going to happen, And I say, what do you do? And I say, just wait. Just wait. We're all in this together. And I, for one, am worried about the people. I mean, we're all in this together. If you want to cause trouble, then you're going to see the American people revolting. And to me, revolting is not a good thing. You're causing a lot of problems in this world, literally. In my opinion, we all have to basically get through this. And to me, like I said, too many people are stir crazy and they think that it's unconstitutional that the government is telling us to stay indoors. I mean, they did this in, um, the 1918 and 1920s flu pandemic, and people say, oh, well, we did this, And to me, you got to look at it that they're fucking unhappy as hell. I, for one, think that we as in people need to look at, everyone out there needs to ask yourself, what's going to happen in the future? Future is hard. I love America. I don't like seeing what's going on, We're basically all struggling. And I think that it's because they're bored as hell and stir crazy. So they're causing problems to no end, to the point of no return, And that is not good. They're causing a lot of wars and out of board. It also has to do with, other things. Like I said, could be martial law could come down the pipe if they really do that, And I see it. And I feel it. And I feel sad. Because the country should be for, you know, like I told Chloe, a lot of people feel stir crazy. You need to basically go around and just say enough's enough. We're basically going to see a lot more deaths. If we keep continuing to go down that path. Do we really want to see more deaths because of people being bored? No, I don't think so. I think we need to look at it from a bigger picture. And that is where I, say enough's enough, And we're in the biggest problems right now. And I completely and clearly see it as hurting. I mean, they're bringing in state police, Army National Guard. This is bad. I mean, literally. I mean, people are stir crazy because they're bored. So they get into it and they're like, lives matter. I mean, if people were basically sitting at home and not thinking about rioting, we wouldn't have this problem, We wouldn't be in this problem, I mean, I love everything going down. And, I mean, America. Sure. I was going to use the bathroom anyway, so.
There's one box of 6 flavor inches in this package, and there's got 2 unopened ones. Mind if I take this one to my phone tomorrow?
What, you haven't, so you're telling me you want to do that because you,
I also want to throw the package away.
That's fine, take it then.
Because I want to make room for the drawer. I'm reorganizing.
Oh, okay.
I got all the cleaning stuff in here with the Dove body wash, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also found a bunch of little things, body wash and shampoo and conditioner we need to use up.
Which reminds me, talking to you, did you ever find those bath sponges?
No, they don't have them at Dave's store or the other store.
All right, so I guess I'll have to order that online.
Yeah, it's an online order.
All right.
What do we need it for anyways?
The body wash?
Is this degree body heat activated? Is that something you keep?
Yes, it's a souvenir
Souvenir.
from Australia. It says Australia on it. Mm-hmm.
Do they make degree products in the U.S.?
They do, but that says Australia. It just reminds me of my time in Australia.
We'll put this in another room for you. So you'd have a suit. So I'll put this in your office.
Mm-hmm.
We better kept better than that.
So basically, you know, I love America. I don't like seeing what's happening to America currently.
This country discriminates.
Exactly.
The people in this country discriminate, you get away with it.
Well, yeah, exactly. So,
This country uses discrimination everywhere.
you're taking a break now?
Yeah, well, mental.
Very well. You do that. Excuse me for a moment, everyone. I'd like to ask for a leave for a minute so I can use the bathroom. I'll be back. I will be back. Give me a moment.
Your order from Amazon.com was scheduled to be delivered digitally yesterday. Two packages for ours order should arrive Monday, June 1st, containing ramen noodle soup and ground coffee. Another two packages should arrive Wednesday, June 3rd, containing dinner kit and corn snacks. Another 19 packages are on the way. Right now in Bear Lake, it's 80 degrees and sunny. Today, there'll be scattered thunderstorms with a forecasted high of 81 and a low of 53. Currently in Friday Harbor, it's 54 degrees and cloudy. Today, there'll be showers with a forecasted high of 60 and a low of 49. And tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy. What's the title of the event? Okay, when is the event?
3 p.m.
Got it. Stimulus check arrives today at 3 p.m. Do you want to save that?
No.
What do you want to change? Okay, when is the event?
June 1st.
Sorry, when is the event?
June 1st.
Got it. Stimulus check arrives on Monday at 3 p.m. Do you want to save that?
Yes.
Sure, it's on your calendar.
All right, sorry about that, people. I had to use the bathroom. Took me a minute. Took me a big minute to do. Anyways, yeah, that's what I was doing. Is I was using the bathroom. So I apologize. Usually, here on the uh, Rita show, I do get up from time to time to use the bathroom, and well, I had to do it. So, you know. All right, so no packages on the front door yet. That's why I don't have to check. So, anyways, um, I wanted to share that with you all. Uh, so, but yeah, anyways, with everything going on in the news, um, we all have to prepare. And so I say many time again, stay indoors. Uh, so. Yeah. So, anywho, like I said, we just got to prepare for what's coming down the pipe, and prepare for all and every. Yes, I just checked my messages. Usually, my phone was turned off all night. Actually, I turned it on this morning. To save on power. Plus, the fact I didn't want to be bothered this morning because I wanted to get into movies, and so that's how it is. Let me get some coffee. Oh man, my body feels pretty damn good now that I've emptied myself. So tonight's dinner is going to be homemade tacos since we already ate other things. What a crappy day, I tell you. So I apologize. That's why. That's yeah. Well, it's got so many responsibilities, Melissa, that I'm trying to get things moving along. So for all of you wondering, I am on the last spreadsheet for today. And so I can take breaks from time to time. So, the reason for it is I wanted to get this moving along. So, but yeah, I mean, this is basically news. Now, let me reiterate the other problem that we have going on, which is the government is sending out debit cards. Now, the problem of the debit cards is a lot of the elderly are cutting them up, and, it's not cool. It is literally not cool at all. And so I thought I'd share that with you all as well. So, but to talk about the pandemic, a lot of people out there, want the Republicans want to see everyone back to work. That helps them get reelected. But right now, the numbers are stating that they're more likely won't get reelected because of the pandemic and the fact that they're having problems. And they're a lot of people are, a lot of Americans out there is thinking that uh, that they're entitled to more stimulus money, and you know, Dakota and Minnesota, no, I've never stated we're getting another stimulus. I said more likely if they're going to do one, and they're going to do it probably at the end of June, maybe July sometime, you know. So, and so to me, you just need to look at it from that point of view, because everyone says, "Oh, well, we're going to get a payment, and we're going to get this, and we're going to get that," and to me, that's if you think we're going to get another payment. In my opinion, enjoy cleaning the kitchen. I will be here a little longer until I'm finished with the spreadsheets, and I thought about um, setting up my Google Home Hub when it comes today. It's supposed to be coming today. It's out for delivery right now, so I got to make sure there's enough things so I can literally set it up. When it comes near where my other part of my computer is, so I can set it up for you all. So right now I'm using the Amazon Echo Show 8, which I actually like the small Echo Show 8. It does its job pretty well and it maintains everything while I'm working away. So, enjoy your kitchen cleaning. So, by the way, what happened to Minnesota? Did he disappear? That's something I'm curious about. Is he being punished so bad he can't be online? Or did I upset him? You know, I'll try to message you a little later, So, so for the rest of you out there, you guys sit there and you say, "Oh well, what do we do?" Except well, whatever you do, The thing is this pandemic, is causing a lot of problems. Causing a lot of problems um, with stir craziness. So they're turning around and they're literally causing a lot of problems for you know and so to me, I wanted to share that, you know we're in a crisis that's not just escalating to um, everything else. We're basically escalating it to the point of no return, and this is not just. Now, call me crazy. I know people say, "Oh well, the government can't do this and the government can't do that." Well, what upsets me, okay, is this: that if we keep having these um, looting and shooting, and they have to call the National Guard in to help, right? And what's going to happen when the looters decide to walk around with AR-15s? I don't condone that, by the way, or handguns, and they have to escalate the problem because of it. I mean, literally, you know, then you're going to see a lot of escalation to the point of no return. And that is where we as a people are getting a lot of problems. Literally, a lot of problems. And that is something I wanted to share, with you all, because we as in people need to realize that you know we also have to prepare for um, so that's why I So that is something I want to share with you all, So for tomorrow's work, for some of you out there, when I do an update tomorrow, I will be doing 3 spreadsheets tomorrow and talking to you all. But right now, I will continue my discussion with my morning coffee because it's time to address the issues at hand. Well, I'm sorry, Sam. I wish I could read Russian. I really do, So, wish I could read. Dude, come on. Let's see. 1:30, so. So, anyways, with that going down, we as in people need to realize that, the American people have to realize that we as in people have to realize, that we have to protect ourselves. And by doing so, we have to protect ourselves from everything and everything. And so, as I said, people have asked me, how's this going to play out? What's it going to look like? I can't tell you. Literally, I cannot tell you. Literally, I cannot tell you at all. Because we as in people right now, we're stuck indoors, and the news has already stated that we're going to be stuck indoors until who knows when, And so I, on the other hand, have said this time and time again that we as in people need to look at this and say the riots need to stop. Enough's enough. I mean, look, the pandemic is causing stir craziness and everyone has decided to go and burn down buildings. What type of people are there? The world is laughing at us. One man gets assaulted and the rest have to suffer to no end. Literally, to no end. I, on the other hand, think it's not cool. And I think it stinks to the no end, I think it literally stinks to high heavens that we as in people have to look at the big picture as in why. Literally, we have to ask ourselves why. And that is something that's really, really sad because we as in people need to realize that the American people need to generalize in the fact that the American people shouldn't be laughed at. I mean, look, we're in a pandemic. A lot of the world is basically pointing fingers and saying, oh, look, our commander-in-chief's a douchebag. Well, if our commander-in-chief's a douchebag in their opinion, that's their opinion. I can't say yay and I can't say nay. The only thing I can say is that we as in people, are different, and that's only because the American people, have a lot of problems. I mean, as I said, we're coming down to the wire. Tomorrow's the 31st of May. I mean, literally, can you believe it? It is already May 31st. And frankly, May 31st, that's amazing. It is literally amazing. I mean, so basically, it is amazing, and everyone around needs to realize that we are people, and we have to pull together. Now, a lot of states are saying it's unconstitutional, other states are spiking, and this is going to cause them to regroup and re-ask themselves: shall we open the government, or shall we keep the government closed? In my opinion, I can't tell you what can and can't be done, literally. I mean, I can tell you outright that it's a giant conundrum. And for me, I think we, as in people, need to realize that we're watching big news right now. Big news to no end. Come here. Everyone wants to see the docile little bun bun. Hi, Boon Boon. Come here. Hello, my name's Zippity Bunny. My name's Zippity Bunny. You always say that. My name's Zippity Bunny. Hello, everyone. Oh. See, everyone thinks of him as the most docile little creature in the world. I mean, look at him. So, some people think of him as food, but I don't. I see him as my friend. Boop. And he loves cuddles, by the way. You cuddling with me this morning, huh? Hi. Oh, come here. Come here, what's wrong? Huh? What's wrong? When you talk to a bunny, he literally loves it. I'm worried about the pandemic. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, the pandemic's bad, the rioting's bad, the looting's bad, the shooting's bad. The Army National Guard's calling them out for our protection. It's not about the state's protection, it's about people. They're bored as hell, so they're causing a lot of trouble. He's the equivalent of my parrot. Hi. So, if anyone wants to post a comment about the bunny, feel free to, because frankly, as long as you don't say he's food, I frankly get disgusted when people think that he's a meal. Matter of fact, this guy means the world to me. Hi. Oh, come here. How are you doing, huh? Oh, you want to kiss me? Okay, kiss me once and kiss me twice. You got food in there? Where is your food bowl? There we go. So that's where your food is, huh? What, you hungry? Oh, you hungry? You're like, I am hungry, bunny. So, there you go. He's our little mascot, by the way, for the channel. So, he's in his little cage, getting munch on some food. So, basically, if you look at the big picture, everyone, you got to ask yourself, how much more can someone take, literally? I mean, look at it this way. The American people are standing around right now, causing riots, causing looting, causing pandemics. I mean, look, I just read an article where they said 8 o'clock, Oregon's shutting down again because of it. 8. Hey, Chloe, on your phone again, I see? You're going to get what? So basically, like I said, the American people turn around, and the rioting and the looting, and it's got to literally stop. And so, that's how I see it. So the looting's got to stop. Everything else has to stop, And to me, I find it to be really an interesting thing because, we all are in this together, And But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, and to me, we as in people need to realize, the American people are suffering to no end,
What is it?
So you're using headphones right now,
I don't
and
want to copyright your video. I don't want your video to be copyrighted because you got people out there who'll flag your video and even the first person who whistles a tune. Say if
true.
I whistle London Bridges, someone will flag your video.
Yeah,
Which I don't know. I can't whistle that well.
I could.
What's that?
I could.
We'll go and do it.
I'm not. Do you think I want my video flagged? So, basically, like I said, I told Chloe we need to have a better diet too than chips and snacks because we're gaining weight, and we need to limit our chips and snack
Did you have any
intake.
salad yet?
No, I haven't had any salad yet. I was waiting for dinner. Remember, you were gonna make tacos, and it's 1:30 now, so I figured.
Yeah, I'm gonna make them actually. I couldn't make them now. Actually, let's eat that Chinese dinner.
I already did.
I'll eat mine up and make tacos too.
Well, I'm just gonna have tacos. There's not much. What's left in the Chinese wasn't much, anyways, for me. Remember, I ate it all.
Yeah,
I was a pig last night.
So I'm making beef tacos. So cook a pound of beef.
There's more than a pound of beef. Beef's already out. It's frosted 2 pounds of beef. Remember? I also told you those pastrami, that package of pastrami that you bought with mine, because I can't share because of my food stamp thing. So I haven't tapped into it yet, though. I might later. Maybe during a movie time I'll tap into it. It looks really good, though. Looks good. I mean, this one looks good. Peppered salami, Calabrese salami with red chili peppers, Italian dry salami. I don't like salami. In Australia, they put salami on pizzas, actually. So, But yeah, anywho. And so a lot of people, like you said, turned around and, excuse me for 1 second. And they turned around and they're basically causing a lot of stink right now. I mean, if you look at the big picture, everyone, we are in a severe pandemic, and it's not just about um, the pandemic, and the coronavirus. It's also people, as I think Chloe would realize also, she joins us all the time, that it's stir craziness. I mean, look, Chloe, people are so stir crazy, they want to go defend an African American guy, beautiful African American guy. Everyone's beautiful in their own way. And yet, they're now causing crimes, burning buildings down, businesses down, crushing things, destroying things. What happened to civilization where you can have a peaceful argument without basically burning down?
Defending the African American guy. Remember, there were a bunch of rednecks out there, threatening to kill governors if they didn't reopen things.
Well, yeah, and now look what's happened. You got a lot of stir crazy people that are basically deciding to defy the stay-at-home orders, and so A, they're burning down buildings and stuff. B, they're turning around and doing other things. I mean, literally, they're burning down fucking buildings. They're fucking burning down buildings, and they're doing everything else.
Maybe we just need to let the country fall.
And then, well, no, we don't. We don't. Because remember what I said. One state decides to declare a state of emergency, like Michigan, right, or Minnesota, for the Army National Guard, and other states follow suit. Next thing you know, you're going to have that you're going to have, a lot of problems, You're going to have a lot of problems. All right, so I have some breaking news for everyone, okay? Breaking news, like I just said, okay? This is why I'm waiting for my packages, but I have some breaking news. Georgia governor authorizes the use of the Army National Guard. So they're going to maintain order in Atlanta, Georgia. Milwaukee also has imposed 9 minutes ago curfews after an officer was shot during protesters Friday night. Let's continue. I'm watching Chloe's. Cleveland, 25 minutes ago, protest begins peaceful. Now they're throwing objects and the police have been ordered. Indiana has issued calls up to the state police first before the Army National Guard. Cincinnati has now issued a curfew after Friday's protests. Iowa Governor and Des Moines mayor released statements of protests and violence. Protesters are blocking highways in Austin, Texas. Community and religious leaders 41 minutes ago asked protesters to stay home. I've said this time and time again, stay home. Hold on. Texas governor deploys 1,500 officers to help with protesters. 6 Oakland police officers and 7 civilians were injured in protests Friday. This just came out an hour and a half ago. Breaking news. An hour and 38 minutes ago, the Wisconsin National Guard has been mobilized. See, I told you this. This is the start of an uprising. You got 3 states out of 50 that issued the National Guard. Let's continue. An hour and 33 minutes ago, President Trump threatens to use military police on protesters. That means if the shooting starts, you got problem. U.S. Attorney General Bob Barr has said an hour and 58 minutes ago, the voices of peaceful protests are being hijacked. Four Atlanta police officers injured and 1 civilian shot during protesters Friday night. Emergency declared by police in Columbus, Ohio, to order and manage protests. Soon the Ohio National Guard is going to be called out. Washington, D.C. mayor says Trump's comments on an attack on Black America. More than 100 people were arrested during protests last night in Chicago. I'm telling you, stay home, everyone. Michigan governor encourages communities to designate area for peaceful protest. Minnesota Attorney General says murder charge is only the beginning of the legal process for Chauvin. Minnesota Lieutenant Governor says the people doing communities harms must be removed. Trump offers U.S. military assistance in Minnesota and other states. Hundreds of arrests made in Los Angeles following protests Friday. Secret Service arrested 6 people in Lafayette Park. There you go. I mean, look at it this way. Protesters hold a moment in silence in Miami. So 3 states have issued the Army National Guard. I told you, when one state issues it, another one will. Because there's 30 major cities in America doing these protests. Now we have new news all over the country with new breaking areas with protests. So currently, 3 states have issued the Army National Guard. That means within the next few hours, they might be calling in other states. Oregon might call in their National Guard. The Washington State might call in their National Guard. California might call in their National Guard. Wisconsin already has. Minnesota has. And Georgia has. So unless you have peaceful protests, the National Guard was called in. And to me, that is something I'd like to get Chloe on the record on.
You think you're going to let that cop walk away free?
No, they're looking at prosecuting him to the full extent of law. Look, if you turn around and you cause trouble for a guy like this guy, and you caused panic, nationwide panic and destruction, do you think you're going to let a guy go away and say, oh, well, it's the Americans' fault? No.
Someone who supports, racism would.
Chloe, he already said the guy needs to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Look, if you were the commander-in-chief, do you think you'd sit there and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to let him go, we're going to go? No, he's looking at it from a point of view that the American taxpayers, besides the coronavirus, everyone, Chloe doesn't realize. Chloe's like, oh, he's a racist, he's a bastard, he's this, he's that. Do you think he's going to sit there? Look, the coronavirus is hanging over his head. He knows his numbers are down the shitter. He can't get unemployment down. He's got next week the numbers are going to be between 43 and 48 million people unemployed. People are losing their businesses left and right because of protesting and burning of buildings, which could take many more months or even a year to 2 years to build a new building. So you have to have construction companies. But where is the money? The insurance companies can go bankrupt if all these buildings get burned down. So he's doing what he can for the business part. Look, he's a businessman. He doesn't understand how to handle and contain a coronavirus. He's blaming China for it. He didn't say, blame China and pass the buck. Okay, but he's a businessman. When he's seeing businesses around the country and protesting, this is like the Nixon time and Ike. Nixon turned around during the LBJ incident. Did you know LBJ had riots? History says, it repeats itself. There was riots when black people were beaten out of the back of army trucks. So Truman tried to pass bills to protect them. People were basically being beat. Remember the butler?
Yeah.
Remember the guy who basically got beat, Chloe?
Yep.
They got beat. Why did they get beat, huh? They got beat because these people know that they got beat. They got beat because they were black. They got beat because of segregation.
Well, racism
White
still
people
exists.
aren't is not
Superior.
superior to blacks. Look at blacks, okay? The black people, in my opinion, are superior as whites, okay? Smarter than whites in some way. Look how good they are in athletes. I mean, look at Branch Rickey. Is the movie of the story of Jackie Robinson? Harrison Ford wanted a black man, and everyone said no. He started playing baseball.
What about Ernie Davis in college football?
The guy with the blood disorder?
Leukemia.
Yeah, I know, but I do remember the movie Nixon? The play football, like the oh.
You got the thing is, even in the workplace, African Americans do better jobs than white people. A lot of white people are lazy. A lot of white people play favorites. The white man's corrupt. The white man's always been corrupt. I think Europe always had problems throughout the ages.
Because white man, but look, we're all equal. The thing is if we keep doing this, we're going back 50, 60, 70 years, 80 years. When will this end? When will this end?
Oh, white men are so arrogant, and they want to think Jesus was a white hair with blonde hair, blue eyes, because they want to think they're the superior race of Jesus.
Jesus was a brown guy. Literally, Jesus was Aramaic. So, basically, I needed to share that with you all. Jesus was Aramaic.
He's the same race as those that white people say are terrorists.
We're all Homo sapiens. We're all people of different religions and race. Does anyone know the true definition of why people became white? Does anyone know the history behind it? We were all Aramaic.
Yeah.
Eventually, we migrated to Siberia, and the snow alone, the sun and the snow, started turning our pigmented color white. Otherwise, we're still like everyone else.
You know, they said white people originate from Russia.
No. Well, yeah, exactly. But excuse me for a moment, please. Continue talking on my behalf while I go out.
So white people went to Siberia, and then as white people migrated from Russia into Eastern Europe, then into Western Europe. So eventually, for most of us, we came from long ago, ancient Russia, into Europe and settled other European countries. And then came the Roman Empire, Romans. But before all that, we were all Aramaic at one time. Because, at one time our far ancestors lived in the desert, dark skinned because desert has a lot of sun. Before that, we were all black. Everyone at one point or another were black because mankind started in Africa. Homo sapiens were originally from Africa, like most other primates. Africa was a big continent for primates. Yeah, South America and North America have some native species of primates, and so does Asia, but most primates originate from Africa, including Homo sapiens. Human people. It was migration. We migrate out into Middle East, which became Aramaic and all that. Some people went far east, not in Siberia, but south of that, into China and Southeast Asia, and that's how the Asian race came to be.
They basically are trying to put you back to work, Chloe.
Oh my.
Yeah, you can't work. You asked me to look it over.
But and then some people from Siberia during the Ice Age migrated over into Alaska, that's what started the Native American race. Native Americans originally came from Siberia and went over into the Americas. They went over North America first, and then eventually they went down through Mexico, through Central America, because back then Panama Canal never existed back then. They went into South America, and that's how the indigenous people of the Americas came to be. Now the Aborigines in Australia, who knows how they got there. Some say who knows, but yeah. And of course, the Hispanic race that was started after the Middle Ages when Christopher Columbus discovered America, and many Latin Europeans came over and invaded the Native Americans in Central America, and then they sexually violate the Native American women, and the offsprings were half European, half Native American, which made the Hispanic race. But yeah, I mean, most other races were because of migration patterns, and our skin had to adapt to those weather.
So, does everyone want me to take over again in a minute, Chloe?
Sure. Yeah, take over. But yeah, we're all. It's a migration pattern. It's like I found a map of like the human migration pattern. Migration pattern timeline. That's how we are what we are.
So, for some of you out there, I got 2 pieces of information for you all. Thank God for this. Let's open this up, shall we, everyone? Probably curious of what it is, aren't you, everyone? Well, here we go,
Buying everything.
Nah, not really, but still.
It seems like it.
So, glad you're here, Gail. So, I'll be checking Direct Express a little later to see about pending charges for me and Chloe's account. Oops, didn't mean to cut that way, but you know what? I'm somewhat blind anyways, so. Okay, so you guys are probably curious. I know Gail. Welcome, Gail. So, here we go. Brand new in the box. Now, I did some research for Chloe before it happened, and I want to share with you a couple things. One is, by the way, you told me to open the mail for you all the time, to read you and understand things. You told me to understand, right? I want to get this on camera for all of you, first of all. I want to say congratulations, Chloe. Take this to the bank and cash it. Put it in, take it back out, put it in quarters, and park your car. Work with here, Maureen. Work with me. Before you guys wonder what this piece of paper is, this is Chloe's economic impact payment. Congratulations. Your second one.
Yay.
So, because she's on SSI and SSDI, that paper says, congratulations, Chloe, that's the second economic impact payment. So,
I'll have to take it Monday.
That's what I said. Take it to the bank money. Isn't that great news for you, Chloe?
Oh,
The good Lord has blessed us well. I saw it come in today anyways on the thing. Yeah, well, you're being notified early, but I just talked to Direct Express this morning, and they're not anything's pending until the 3rd. So everyone will get their payment, by the way, on the 2nd of I gotta find a charger. I might charge my phone over there from now on. So let's open this up, shall we? So if you decide to buy a Google Home Hub, for example, the deal with the Home Hub is simple. Is if you go out today and you buy a Google Home Nest, you're paying $130 plus tax. This one, brand new, in the box. Chloe's excited, aren't you? Only costed us $50 new with free shipping.
cool.
$50. It's the first generation, which means the Google Home Hub is cheaper. What's in this box? Is there anything in this box or nope? Just sits there. So, congratulations to Chloe on her economic impact payment. Congratulations, Chloe. You should be happy. That's a little extra money we don't have to worry about. So, the good Lord has blessed Chloe well. Oh, this is a weird plug. Huh, oh well. So, I will wire this in. So, before anyone asks, oh, how do I get another payment? Well, Chloe got lucky because she was on dude. There we go. So she was on disability, you know. So, frankly, let's just get this here. Plug this in the back. Okay. Run this down to the plug. That's the first thing we want to do. And we're going to set this up for you all. Aren't we? So, run this over here. Well, we'll run it over this way then. As long as we have the cord. And as long as we know it's right here. Since we have the plug. There we go. It's plugged in. Now, let's pull the plastic off wherever the plastic is. I guess there's no plastic on this? Oh, or is there? I can't see. Oh, here it is. Brand new, in the box, $50. This will help me.
Welcome to Google Home. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
I already did. People. Hand me my phone, Gary. Oh, that's right there. I already downloaded it, so let's just go into Google Home. Here we go. Let's get this bad boy set up. Get started. Choose account, location access, all the time for that because it's that settings. So I gotta go and turn location services on because of it. Fine, let's go location services. Fucking son of a bitch. I hate this. Location for devices. Okay, so there you go. This is the instructions for it. So I want to see what do you got to say, Gail? So okay, Nest Hub found. Yes. There we go. So the app's been downloaded, so I pre-installed it early. So right now I got my devices. I'm going to pair it up with the camera. So anyways, I've been excited about getting this today too because, you know, it's a 7-inch Google Home Hub. I want to thank Brad, Mr. Brad. He's no longer around because of it. I want to thank Brad for, you know, for it. So, giving the suggestion. I got it on eBay cheaper than I thought. So, you know. But anyways, people don't need to worry about payments right now on Direct Express because, you know, etc. So, I want to show you guys the box while we're waiting. This says connecting Nest to Hub. So, here you go. So, this is my portable assistant, so my phone can be turned off a lot of times, so I can maintain my schedule and calendar and everything else while we're here. So, once the hub's programmed, we'll go to standards of the next part, you know, which is great.
So, what's the hub for? Google stuff?
Remember how you liked the Google Assistant?
Yeah.
Well, the Google Assistant's on this thing here.
Cool.
The reason I wanted it is I didn't really want a phone because because we're on the Google ecosystem, this will also maintain our camera too.
Cool.
And any other devices. Say if you want Google Home light bulbs to be put in, it can.
You got like an office on the dinner table.
Well, I don't see you using the dinner table.
I'll use it soon. When I get it clear, I'll use it.
Well, that's your job to clear it today. However, I want to say congratulations again to Chloe and her second stimulus check. Congratulations, Chloe.
Thank you. Thank you. It's right here. I'll keep it on me for the bank.
I'll put it in. Yeah. You can
I'll
keep
just
it
keep
on.
it on me. I'm not going to lose it.
Yeah, you go in early Monday morning.
Yeah.
Do your business there. Alexa, what's the weather like for Monday?
Here's the forecast for Monday, June 1st in Friday Harbor. Look for mostly sunny weather with a high of 63 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 47 degrees.
Alexa, add an appointment to my calendar for Monday,
Got it. For what time?
9 a.m.
And what's the name of the event?
Chloe goes to the bank.
I'll schedule Chloe goes to the bank on Monday, June 1st at 9 a.m. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, I've added that.
Listening.
So apparently it's taking a while to locate the Google Home Hub. So while this is loading, it is going to set this device up for us all. So I guess while we're waiting, we can talk about other issues, which I wonder why the hub's not finding it anything. See? It says get the Google Home Hub. Isn't this great? Got a little I need to Google something real quick.
Your Google Home isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
I did. Try again. Leave setup. Let's try again. Setup Nest Hub. Home. Looking for devices. Yes. There we go. So let's Google something while we're waiting. This is what is this exactly? The Google Home Hub.
Your Google Home isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Yes, we got that already. I don't care about this. Can't we just... Let me grab the instruction manual, I guess, while we're waiting. So I guess Gail left for whatever reason.
Well, she'll be back.
But while we're ready, you know. So it could take a while. Moppy! Fine, I'm gonna go check and find out what's going on. Moppy! Knock it off, you turd head. Knock it off!
What's that? Him? Moppy, stop it. Damn. Here, I'll hold him here with my feet. Is he barking?
Yes.
Oh.
So apparently we're having a few minor problems. Nothing that can't be fixed, but the problem with the minor problem is Google is having some problems with the wireless. So you know, they're saying it could take a while. So, anywho, since everyone's left and I can't text anyone anyways, my phone's Alright, so I'm just reading and troubleshooting for everything. Hold on. Make sure my hub is nearby. So it basically said the hub's not nearby, so I will be back soon, everyone. Chloe needs a clean, and I need to set this up properly. So please add and subscribe. Please post comments, leave feedback, suggestion, hit the like, subscribe button. It's wholesome funny for your family, including your dogs, your cats, your bunnies, your service dogs. Thanks for watching, everyone, and stay tuned for that. Hit the bell notification. Thank you. God bless you, and have a nice day.
You done your bed?